Welcome back, viewers, to the Personal Injury Show. We've got Kathy's mailbag. Kathy, how are you?
Good, thank you, John. Good evening. Hi, Don, and good evening, viewers.
Kathy, what did you think of the our transport accident update, and in particular the Court of Appeal in that last decision of GU?
It was, look, I think that was a very interesting take in particular. It's always good having Don's TAC updates, mind you. But I think it was actually correct as well, in particular with the decision on the jurors. So I'm looking forward to seeing about the rehearing.
There'll be a retrial in that,
yeah,
Don. That's going to be an expensive exercise, isn't it?
Yeah, and look, it just goes out to all the pedestrians, obviously, do take care. I was going to say, John, did you know now my little son, who's only 5, is going to kinder, and they teach him as early as 4 and 5 how to cross roads.
Oh, that's fantastic, fantastic.
So,
I hope the TAC is funding that or helping out.
I think the parents fund it, John.
Well, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
But it's interesting. They start as early as that, and I think that's right. And you see all those commercials and all those children's bands that sing about crossing roads. So
you can never take too much care on the road. We don't want the situation where we've got in, for example, you know, other countries where, you know, road laws are totally non-existent.
Are we talking about Europe, John? Or?
Anyway, well, maybe, yes. But anyway,
what
Kathy,
it comes down to is we have to be careful, both pedestrians and drivers. But I've got mail, boys, so we've got to go on to our questions. First one tonight, DPI show. I was recently assaulted by a man who forced his way into my car whilst I was sitting at a roundabout near home. Whilst he was attacking me, my car hit another car and was so badly damaged that it had to be towed away. The police who attended the scene advised me that the attacker was an escaped psychiatric patient from a nearby hospital who had escaped earlier that morning. Now, what entitlements do I have? And this is from an anonymous viewer from Muralbark, from what I can see here. But Don, what do you think on this? Because that's a really unfortunate circumstance.
I think very, very scary circumstances too, driving along and someone just jumps in their car. Well, look, I think we need obviously a little bit more information because we don't know what injuries have arisen from the transport accident. No doubt there may have been some injuries that she has as a result of the assault, and may have also had some injuries from the actual car accident. Insofar as the car accident, I would have thought that would be a TAC claim, so she must lodge, if she sustained injuries in the car accident, so she must lodge a claim with the TAC, and there are timelines to that as well.
So any injuries arising out of the driving of the car?
That's, yes, driving the car.
So she may have had some physical injuries from the car accident. That will be covered by the Transport Accident Commission.
That's right.
Possibly psychiatric injuries too, like from the scare.
Arising out of the transport accident.
Correct.
That's right.
Yes. But then we've got the situation where she's been attacked by this
psychiatric. Someone that's come out of a psychiatric.
Well, it doesn't appear that the driving had anything to do with the attack.
Well, so that's not covered by the transport accident.
No, it wouldn't. And that's where it becomes a little bit academic, where you have to separate which injury arises from where. If there is an injury from the actual assault, I would have thought maybe she's got a victims of crimes application.
Yes.
Or even look at a civil claim, John, against the hospital.
So she may have suffered a severe psychological reaction to the attack by this person from a institution. She may have, under the Wrongs Act, an action against the institution and the person also. That's
right. Subject to reaching thresholds as well, John.
Exactly.
A significant injury, or if it's a transport accident, it has to be serious injury. So unfortunately, we probably don't have a real answer for her, except to say...
It's a difficult case scenario you've got. However, you need to seek legal advice because you do have entitlements.
Yes, that's right.
Looks like a few different types of entitlements there. We hope that's helped. We've got a question now from Pasquale in St Albans. DPI show. I was hoping to get some advice about a car accident I was involved in 2 weeks ago. I was hit by a car getting off a tram and wanted to know how to get compensation for my medical bills and loss of income from work. I've had a total of 7 days lost at work. My medical bills have come to $270 so far, with another $50 added for prescriptions and travel to and from the doctors. I've tried to come to some sort of compromise with the driver that hit me, but he is of the opinion that he doesn't know me anything. Do I have any rights against the other driver? Don, can you answer Pasquale's question? I mean, firstly, I would say it looks like a statutory benefits claim to some degree, but...
That's right. If you're injured in a transport accident in Victoria, TAC will pay for those benefits, which includes medical expenses, wages, and also an impairment benefit if they've sustained a impairment greater than 10%. And also may have a claim, claim for damages or common law claim for damages if you sustained a serious injury against the driver.
So, Pasquale, you need to lodge a transport accident claim.
That's right, and there are timelines, of course, and you must lodge it within 12 months.
Although, sorry to cut you off, there is a cap, though, on the medical expenses at this point. Pasquale might be liable to pay the first, I think, is it 500 and...
Well, for TSA to be liable for its medical services, you have to reach the first $564, so you have to incur it, the medical excess, not pay it.
So, Pasquale, he's going to be out of pocket $560.
Well, you can claim it on Medicare, but yes, technically that's right, John.
Yes.
You'll be out of $564.
And then the TAC starts paying for all the rest.
Unless, which he hasn't said, he was in hospital and spent overnight, more than 1 day in hospital, the excess is waived.
Yeah.
But yes, generally the $564 is out of pocket.
All right.
All right. So very important.
And lump sum benefits may flow on, Don?
Depending on the extent of the injury and if there's a permanent
Pasquale,
impairment.
if you've got serious injuries, you should seek legal advice because you may have an impairment benefit and maybe even a serious injury common law damages claim.
That's right.
Don,
the first thing you must do is lodge a claim for compensation. There is a 12-month limit from the date of the accident. There is a further 2 years to do so, but get onto it straight away.
What happens after those 2 years, Don?
No entitlements, John, at all.
So that's strict?
That is strict. It's strict 3 years from the date of the accident or manifestation of the injury.
And that recently changed, didn't it?
It did. It did recently change. There was a bit of...
there was a leeway before that.
It was clarified by the law. There was a bit of a question mark as to whether or not you still have rights after 3 years. But I think it was the last lot of amendments, 3 years is the absolute cut-off.
So if you haven't reported a transport accident claim and it's gone beyond 3 years, forget about it.
That's it. Well, lodge the claim, John. Have to lodge the claim within 3 years.
Lodge the claim with the Transport Accident Commission.
The exceptions are for minors. Minors do have an extra period. Generally could be, I think the law's changed to 3 years from when they're 18. It used to be 1 year, but now they've changed it as well.
Okay, well, we hope that's helped Pasquale. That's a lot of information there, and thank you, Don, our expert in TAC. But we've got one more question we would like to get to, and it's to the PI show. I watch your show every week and find it pretty interesting. Thank you very much. I just wanted to know, does TAC only cover people who are driving on the roads? I do a lot of four-wheel drive and off-road driving and recently had an accident where I broke my collarbone. Just wondering if I could apply for TAC benefits even though I was in a national park at the time. This is from Trevor in Sandringham. John, can you quickly answer this for Trevor?
Look, I think the short answer is yes. You have an entitlement under the TAC, of course. If it's registered in a national park, generally you're in the system. There are some other exceptions if it's unregistered on private land or never been registered vehicles, but not to go into too many details because that's probably the subject of another show. The answer to Trevor would be yes, you have entitlement with the TAC.
Great. Well, we'll keep watching, viewers, so that we can get Don next time back on to enlighten us more about TAC. But please keep writing in with questions from TAC or any personal injury related. Our email address is info@thepishow.com, and please catch up on earlier episodes at www.thepishow.com.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Don.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Kathy.
Thank you, viewers. Next week we're talking about work cover and in particular the cost regime, which will be very interesting. However, stay safe and take care, and we'll see you next time. Good night.